What is going on, everybody, man? King Recon here to talk about some Gintama, and in particular episode 219, around like the first 17 minutes of it, because the latter half, or last like 7 minutes or so of that episode, is the episode's already over, so let's go ahead and start the next one early, take two. You know how Gintama loves to do that. But the first 17 minutes of episode episode 219 is honestly one of my favorite Kagura one-shot stories. Kagura has a lot of really good ones, a lot of incredible one-shot stories. She honestly, if I were to make a list of like best one-shot stories, some of Kagura's would take up some of the top 10 for sure, because she has some incredible ones. And this one right here for sure is in my top 5 favorite Kagura one-shot stories. It just is such a beautiful message, man. But regardless, let me provide some backstory first into it. And if you have not watched this episode in a while, I recommend to go back and watch it. It is well worth the rewatch. It is absolutely hilarious, has some incredible gags, and you will find yourself laughing out loud quite a few times in the episode, as you usually do in Gintama. But it is a Sriracha type of chapter. It is an incredible episode with its great moments, comedic moments, and pretty powerful moments. So, but to provide some backstory, basically the episode is about Iwamatsu, a former professional boxer whose job is to be a punching bag. And so he tries to find as many people that can vent their frustrations by punching them. You know, that's how he puts food on the table, that's how he makes his money. So he meets Kagura, and of course, he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna use this kid as a demonstration. I'm like, yeah, it's the child. Kagura sends him into the flagnard, sends him flying, and he gets pwned, of course, and then he has to feed her. Because the way a punching bag usually works is if you can continue to punch and you don't knock him out, you have to pay him. But if you knock him out, then he has to pay you or buy food for you, or yeah, that's usually the way that it works in most instances. And the reason why I know that is because of Yakuza. But anyways. So that happened. Then Kagura, of course, formed some sort of relationship with him where he came to learn more about Kabukicho through Kagura. And we got to see a lot of Kabukicho through Kagura's perspective, how she views things. For example, whenever Iwamatsu brings up, oh, do you know a place in this town that first of all, he asks, is there anyone stronger than you? And she's like, nah, I'm the queen of Kabukicho, ain't no one touching me. And I'm like, yeah, that's right, that's daughter Kagura-sama, that's facts. But aside from that, he proceeds to ask, like, all right, is there a place in Kabukicho where there's a lot of people who are filled with frustrations and really need something to take it out on? And the first thing that she thinks of is Ochose Snack Bar. And I was like, wow, man. Like, Kagura's a child. And because of her time with Gintoki and her time in Kabukicho, she's able to differentiate Ochose Snack Bar as a place where people go to drink away their problems or to vent away their frustrations. And I was like, yo, that's something very, very powerful. And I immediately thought back to episode 308, one of my favorite lines in the whole series, where Kondo tells Gintoki that there's certain problems that can only be solved or taken away with a drink. One of the most powerful, incredible lines in the series, man. I love that line. I love that episode. Episode 308 is fantastic. But yeah, and that reminded me of that, and the fact that Kagura immediately thought of that first was huge for me. I was like, man, it's coming from a kid. I mean, of course, it's Gintama, and we have Sriracha who utilizes his kids in that way, and then especially Kagura, who has there is no button for Kagura, man. Like, she has no filter. There is no filter on Kagura. Kagura says 100% of what is on her mind, which is what makes what happens later on in the episode that much more beautiful. But aside from that, a lot of trolling goes down. Some of the most hilarious stuff with Madao and Gintoki and the Joy Patriots and the Shinsengumi, especially Shinsengumi portion. The portion with Kondo, Yamazaki, and Sogo had me dying of laughter every time. I've rewatched this episode a few times in the past year, and this one really, really gets to me. The Shinsengumi part, dying of laughter, dying of laughter. But the reason why I love this episode so much is what proceeds to follow after all of that. Whenever everything's settled down, and it seems like he can't find anybody to punch him. We get to a situation whenever it's just them two in a park, and he proceeds to start to vent out how he truly feels to Kagura. And he tells Kagura that he is going to stop being a punching bag because he's noticed how strong everyone in Kabukicho is, and how they aren't willing to just punch someone who isn't willing to punch back, and how he wants to be as strong as they are instead of working this crappy job, as he calls it, this creepy job. And what Kagura replies is why I love the series and why it's so inspirational to me as someone who one day wishes to become an author and actually release a book to the world, man. It's such a beautiful line, especially coming from a person of her age with no filter, because you can just tell that it's coming straight from the heart. And I love how Sorachi utilized her. Like, if it would have been anyone else, it would have been great, but because it's coming from Kagura, it like triples the impact. Kagura replies, and I have it verbatim here, "Really, it's too bad." Now remember, this is right after Iwamatsu tells her that he wants to stop being a punching bag, and he wants to be as strong as everyone else instead of working this job that he's working. So Kagura replies, "Really, it's too bad. I don't understand the complicated stuff, but I feel better now since you let me punch you. And I'm sure there are people who need you. I wouldn't say that everybody's strong. Some people are overwhelmed by their gloomy feelings. Your job isn't creepy. You should be proud. You're the only one who can receive the fist of the injured soul who never has anything returned by the idiots of the Kabuki district." And then right after that, Iwamatsu proceeds to understand why it is that he chose the job that he chose in the first place, which is to take people's fists and their feelings with them, which is what he did while he was boxing. And Kagura's lines hit home so hard for me, because the main gist of it is Kagura telling Iwamatsu to be proud of yourself and what you want to do for a living, because only you can do what you do, because there's only one of you. And that your strength and how you impact others is different than how others do it. So you shouldn't look at other people and see how strong they are as like a scale in order to gauge your own strength. Like, do what you do, because that strength is different than everyone else's. And how you're going to impact people through your job or what you want to do is different than other people. And to me, that's so beautiful, man. It focuses on the impact of the individual, on the impact of how we're all different on the inside. And of course, we'll have those moments where like, man, this person does this person does that, whatever. But instead of wanting to become as strong as someone else or wanting to be like someone else, you should focus more on being yourself, because only you can do what you can do. Only you have a certain strength that no one else has. And that strength can help someone in the same way that he helped Kagura today. And that to me was so beautiful, man. Like, legit. That to me is why I love Gintama. And because it's coming from Kagura, a person with absolutely no filter, and a child, Sorachi did a magnificent job of writing this chapter / episode in the way that he did, man. Absolutely amazing. Those lines hit home so hard. And I'm telling you, man, just go back and rewatch that. It's a scene that has Kagura saying that while Koko Samurai Kunida is playing in the background, which is already one of the best soundtracks in the entire series. It's my personal favorite. It is Gintama to me. Aside from opening one Prey, Koko Samurai Kunida is Gintama. So I'd highly recommend going back and rewatching that portion right there. But those lines hit home so hard, man. They hit home so hard, bro. Like, Sorachi's truly a master of dialogue, man. And how he's able to weave it around with his story. And how each character has their own specific way that they tell their own stories. But this line by Kagura, to me, is just, it's one of my favorite lines in the series. It's one of the most powerful things that Kagura's ever said, man. And Kagura said some deep stuff. But this one right here, it just shows the impact that this town and Gintoki has had on her. And how strong and mature that she is. Realizing, especially you know, coming from Kagura, you know, an individual who's lost herself and is trying to find her way here with the Yorozuya. And the fact that she was able to say that, man, showing the impact of the Yorozuya as well, and showing the impact of each person here in Kabukicho. You know, everyone has their own role. And how you shouldn't strive to be like others, but rather strive to be yourself. And be proud of who you are, man. Like, even though other people may crap on you for your job, or you yourself may not like, or may be ashamed or embarrassed of what it is that you do or love to do, be yourself, man, because the way that you impact others is different than how everyone else can impact others. And even though you want to be like other people, be true to yourself, because what you do is what you do, man. So be proud of that. What you're good at is what you're good at. You're you, and only you are you, man. God, I love that. I love that line, man, because it's something that we hear all the time, but once again, it's coming from Kagura. And it's so beautiful, man. But anyways, I really wanted to get it off my chest. I really wanted to talk about some Gintama. And this episode was the first thing that came to mind. I've been rewatching it over the past year. And I just really wanted to talk about it, man. But anyways, I hope everybody has an awesome sauce of a day. Let me know what Kagura one-shot stories you love, and if you feel the same way about this episode as I do, man. Kagura is awesome. That is the daughter. That is one of the goats of the series right there. And shout out to Sriracha, man, for writing those beautiful lines. Extremely beautiful and impactful lines you just look back on as inspiration and saying, yeah, man, we are who we are, man. It's beautiful, bro. But I'll see y'all next time. Hope it has an awesome sauce of a day. Take care. Goat flipping Tama. Awesome sauce, man.